Hi, this is Princey for Kraftgali. Today, I'm doing a project with these little agenda stamps and die sets. I'm so excited about Mama Elephant's collaboration with Hampton Arts, launching these little agenda stamps and dies featuring some of Mama Elephant's most popular images. If you'd have to individually buy the original stamp and die sets alone from Mama Elephants, it would cost you over $35. But these stamps and die sets come at a very good price point of around $15. These are not polymer stamps, just clear rubber, so I'd recommend using them with the stamping tool. There are a total of 6 different sets in this release. They have all sorts of monkeys, bunnies, dogs. Look at the dog with pen and the dog with camera. They're so cute. This is their cat's agenda set. The cat coming out of box is I think from one of the original Mama Elephant stamp sets. This is their little boy's agenda. I'm going to use this one today to create a card. In addition to these, there's a 6th stamp set in this release that I currently do not have with me, the little girl's agenda. I also have these 2 older sets that are from the Mama Elephant and Hampton Arts collab. I created this card long time back using pandas from the Panda set and balloons from the Up We Go collaboration set. Let's start by creating these cute boys. I use a trick to mass produce small image die cuts like these. I start by taping all dies together with the masking tape to create a guide. This will be helpful if you have to stamp the same images again and again, as you won't have to align them against the dies over and over. I align all dies side by side, put a cardstock over it and run it through my die cutting machine. This way I get a guide that I could use for stamping. I'm going to stamp my images inside these die cut openings itself. Sorry, I torn the template a bit while peeling off the masking tape. This guide doesn't appear in my final project, so it doesn't matter much. Next, I'm going to take my stamping tool, put my cardstock over it and then align the guide on my cardstock. Next, I'm placing the stamps over their respective images' die cut opening in the guide that we created. This way we know that the relative position between the images in the stamps and the dies are same. I'll press the door of my MISTI over the stamps and make sure all stamps stick on my MISTI. I'm stamping all these images using Versafine Onyx black ink. These are not polymer stamps and might need a little extra pressure or stamping multiple times. Versafine is a pigment ink that might need some extra time to dry, so I'm using my heat tool to speed up the process. I will be doing some quick coloring today using my Zig Clean Color Real Brush pens. These are very small images and so do not require any special color blending skills. I'm just doing some basic coloring here. To speed up the process, I prefer to finish the same color at a time across all images, thus to minimize the time gap between switching colors. I'll do all the browns first, the greens second, the reds later and so on. For most of the images, I have used a maximum of 2 colors for blending, except for the hair at some places where I have used 3 colors. For smaller images like these, it is relatively easy to color and you don't have to be a fancy Copic pro to color faces and hair. After coloring them, I'm aligning the die cut guide that I had previously created over these stamped images. Since all dies were arranged with respect to stamps already, I don't have to align all images with dies again. I will place these in between my die cutting plates and run it through my Gemini Junior die cutting machine. And thus, with the little time spent in initial setup, it gets pretty easy to die cut 12 small images at once in a single pass. I will store the cardstock guide and dies in this state for any future use. Let us do the sweet rainbow background now. I'm using distress inks in 6 different colors today to create the rainbow background. To begin with, I'm applying masking tape to mark an area inside which I want to blend my colors in. While blending with distress inks, it is necessary to switch back colors so as to get a smooth color transition. I start with abandoned coral, picked raspberry, spice marmalade, mustard seeds and finish it up with cracked pistachio and peacock feathers. Our card design for today is very forgiving. The entire rainbow background will not be visible in the final card, so the color blending does not have to be perfect. I'm using 6 colors today. The number of colors you may use for blending depends on the size of your blending tool. For the size of a card and blending tool like this, 5 or a maximum 6 colors should be okay. You're only going to see the background in pieces from behind the windows, so you're good to go with the decent blending you're able to achieve. Remember to come back to the previous color to smoothen the blending. My cracked pistachio ink pad was a little dry, so I rubbed the ink pad directly on paper to apply color and then blended it with my blending tool. Once I'm done, I'll peel off the masking tape to reveal the final background. It is a treat to watch a clean line between blended colors and plain white cardstock. I've sprayed some water using my Ranger Mini Mister to create some spot bubbles on this background that adds some interest. Adding some extra drops to this corner which looked plain. Tap these water drops with a clean paper towel to lift some color. This looks so cool. To add some extra shine, I'm adding Tattered Angels Glimmer Mist in pearl color and drying it with my heat tool. Once this is complete, I will trim the final piece to 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 using my Fiskars trimmer. I'm using this A2 grid panel die from Waffle Flower for creating window frames inside an A2 panel. I'm cutting a front panel using some Bristol Smooth White cardstock. Some of the die cuts inside the main panel are also great. I might use them in a future card. This is a versatile die. I love to invest in background dies that could be used in multiple ways. I'm spraying this with the pearl glimmer mist as well. It gives a nice shine to the panel which makes a huge difference. And again, to fasten the drying process, heating it with my heat tool. I'm using these foam squares from scrapbook adhesives to backside of the panel and stick it to the rainbow background that we created. I usually take extra care to apply an adhesive consistently that might show a bit through the sides of the card. I don't like the foam squares looking uneven from the edges. I like my cards looking clean even from the sides. I'm adhering the panel on the rainbow background that we had created. Next, I'm adding some images inside the windows. Just going with whatever random order that comes to my mind. However, in my opinion, I think it adds a bit more interest to paste contrasting color die cuts on the background. That is, blue on yellow, green on orange, or so on. For the sentiment, I have used a stamp from the Mama Elephants and Hampton Arts collaboration Panda set. The sentiment says, "Kiss kiss I love you." That is so sweet. I'm sure it will bring a smile on the recipient's face. For the card base, I'm using Neenah 110 pound Classic Crest Solar White cardstock. To prep my card base, I'm scoring it at the center to create a 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 inch top folding note card. I apply some strong SOOKWANG double-side adhesive generously to the card base and adhere the rainbow panel with little boy images that we had created. And the final card is almost ready. One last thing I would do is darken the little boy's eyes using a LEPEN black pen. This would make those little eyes pop out a bit more. It might not be visible in camera though. I'm pretty happy with how the final card turned out. What do you think? Let me know in the comment section below. Consider subscribing to the channel if you would like to see future videos from us. I have linked some more videos that might be of interest to you. We'll meet again soon. Until next time, bye bye.